So this is what's so upsetting. You have this senator of Maryland, Senator Chris Van Hollen, who's going down there. He says the courts have ordered the safe return of my constituent. He's talking about this MS-13. Two courts said he's an MS-13. ICE has confirmed he was an MS-13, which means he's a terrorist in our country. So he gets kicked out of our country, and now that's the constituent he cares about. Is he even a constituent? A constituent is a voting member of a community. Can he vote in Maryland? Not for a federal election, right? So Patty Moran says, I live in this district. He never came to visit me. Or my family. I live in the same district. He could have come over to my house and said, hey, and I didn't hear from Democrats. She said, I didn't hear from Joe Biden, Kamala, Mayorkas, or her senator. She did hear from the governor, Wes Moore, but she said he didn't do anything about anything after that.
Well, the reason she didn't hear from any Democrats is politically it's a losing proposition for them.
So is what they're doing to go down to the prison.
It's true. Listen, when somebody. It's two different. It's the same topic, but it's two different stories. You know, the migrant kills the woman in Maryland. That's one story, but this one is so much better because the way the Democrats are spinning it is this: it was a El Salvadoran who was in the country legally and was,
which is not true.
No, he was.
No, he was not. He had a final deportation order. The only thing that's in dispute is where he was sent.
I can actually give you the background. So he comes over at 16 by his parents, I guess so-called. He'd qualify as a dreamer, whatever that means. At 19, he gets picked up, or 20 years old, he gets picked up in front of a Home Depot. And the Prince County cops pick him up, and they go, this guy's here illegally. He's a suspected gang member. We're turning him over to ICE. He ends up in front of a court, and the judge, Elizabeth Kessler, says, you're a verified MS-13 ICE member. You're avoided hearing, and there's going to be evidence, so it's going to be coming up in 8 months. So on December 29th, he appealed because he was supposed to be deported. And he says, they said, again, you're a member of MS-13. He said, okay, before you kick me out of the country, I'd like to apply for asylum. And they go, okay, you can apply for asylum. I don't know where you're going to stand on it. He goes, but by the way, if you do kick me out, it looks like you're going to kick me out. If you do kick me out, I'm going to say, whatever you do, don't kick me out to El Salvador. He said, okay. So they go, he is on a removal order. Right. Living from that time to 2025. He's living here, knowing that he could be removed at any moment. Now, people say, okay, he could have been kicked out to any country. Why'd you put him in El Salvador? So Stephen Miller says yesterday, he goes, a couple of things. The reason why you don't go to El Salvador is MS-13. That's right. MS-13 has been eliminated as a threat because the El Salvador president arrested all of them, neck tattoos and all. So you could say, on one count, he's been eliminated as a threat. On the other count is MS-13, thanks to this president, is a terrorist, is a terrorist group. So we're kicking you out for being a member of a terrorist group. So this senator and the Codell want to go down and visit the MS-13 member living on a removal order in Maryland. He's not an American. He may be a dad, but it has nothing to do with his legal status. And MS-13 is one of the most brutal gangs you will ever come across. Look at the photos. So that's who you're going to bat for, not an illegal immigrant.
But my earlier point was the Democrats have seized on this to say, hey, this guy who was in the country and had an order not to get sent back there was grabbed and he was abducted. I mean, that's the talking point. And that is what we're going to hear over and over as all of these Democrats line up to go down there.
All right, but people should know the truth about the situation. Yeah. He is an illegal immigrant on a removal order. And if you want to know why you're going to El Salvador, you say, well, the man mistakes send him to El Salvador, but not getting him out of the country. That's what Senator Van Hollen cares about. Not Rachel Morin, not the illegals, not the 2.5 million here with criminal records that stuck in over the last 4 years. Not that he cares about this clown.
So a lot of these illegal immigrants came in under the watch of Joe Biden. They essentially just let the border open. Now the border is 95% closed. And we'll show later in the show the difference, pictures before and after. You're going to be shocked.